At her parents' anniversary dinner, in front of 25 people, my fiancée laughed and called me a pathetic little boy who still needs his mommy. Then she announced she'd cut my mom off once she controlled our finances. Everyone laughed, except me. I set my fork down, looked at her family, and said, "You're right. I'm not marrying you. I'm Daniel, 29, software engineer in Denver. I make a decent living, around $110,000 a year. My fiancée, Marissa, 27, is a part-time yoga instructor. She brings in maybe $25,000. Not a huge deal to me. I've been covering most of our bills for 2 years, including the apartment, car, and even some of her classes. My dad passed away when I was 16. My mom, now 63, raised me and my sister alone. She's strong, but she's also alone, and I've always made it a point to be there for her. I visit every Sunday, fix things around the house, take her to the doctor when needed. Honestly, it feels normal to me, just being a good son. But Marissa, she always made little digs about it. Do you really need to go every Sunday? Or can't she hire someone to fix her fence? I thought she was just adjusting. I figured once we got married, she'd come around. Turns out, I was wrong. Her parents' 30th anniversary dinner was supposed to be a happy occasion. Big family gathering. Uncles, cousins, everyone. We're sitting at this long table. Her cousin Tyler brags about his promotion, his Tesla, his Bali trip. Everyone's clapping, congratulating him. Then Marissa's aunt turns to me. "So, Daniel, what about you? What do you do?" Before I could open my mouth, Marissa cuts in, laughing. Not a sweet laugh. The sharp, mean kind that makes your stomach twist. "Oh, he does okay. But honestly, he's just a little boy who still runs to his mommy every Sunday. Can't make a decision without her. I'm basically marrying a child." The table went dead quiet. I froze, fork halfway to my mouth. Her mom tried to smooth it over, but Marissa kept going. "Last week, he ditched date night because mommy needed help moving a couch. A couch. And don't get me started on how much money he wastes on her. New fridge, car repairs. I keep telling him when we're married, that stops. I'm not competing with his mother forever." Her sister Emily chimed in, laughing. "Good luck. Mama's boys never change." Marissa smirked. "Oh, I'll change him. Once I control the finances, mommy gets cut off. Holidays only. Like normal people." I sat there in shock. The woman I've been supporting, apartment, car, bills, mocking me, mocking my mom, in front of 25 people. I looked at her, then at her family, and I said quietly, "You're right. I am just a little boy who needs his mom. And little boys shouldn't get married." I stood up, laid my napkin down. "Thanks for dinner. Happy anniversary." And I walked out. My phone blew up before I even got to the car. Marissa's texts ranged from, "Baby, come back. I was joking," to "You're embarrassing me," to "If you leave, we're done." I sent one text back. "We're already done." I drove straight to my mom's house. She was surprised to see me. Made me tea. Didn't ask questions until I was ready. When I told her, she just nodded. Quiet. Then she said, "I never liked her. She never said thank you. Never helped with anything. Always rolled her eyes when you hugged me. Small things, but they add up." That night, I stayed in my old room. I woke up Sunday morning with one thought. I needed to act. Not talk. Act. So Monday, I called in sick. Drove back to the apartment while Marissa was teaching yoga. Packed everything I owned. Clothes, work setup, important papers. The TV I bought. Left the furniture, left the rest. Clean break. Except for one note. Rent's paid through the month. After that, it's on you. Internet and utilities are in my name. Canceling Friday. Good luck. I moved back to mom's. Not ideal at 29, but better than living with someone who humiliated me in public. By the time Marissa got home, I was gone. Within an hour, she was blowing up my phone. "Where are you? You can't just leave." I was joking. "You're overreacting. Please answer me." Then the tone changed. "How am I supposed to pay rent? You're financially abusive. I'll be homeless." That one made me laugh. Abusive? I'd been paying 80% of everything for years. But that was just the beginning. By Tuesday morning, things went nuclear. Marissa showed up at my office. She didn't have access inside, security badge required, but she camped in the lobby for 3 hours. I saw her from the mezzanine and slipped out the back. My phone buzzed with missed calls, 19 in one morning. She wasn't joking. She thought she could wear me down. By Wednesday, her best friend Jenna called me. "You need to talk to her. She hasn't eaten. She's crying during yoga classes. She's a mess." I said, "Then maybe she should think about what she said." "She didn't mean it, Dan. You know her. She just blurts things out." Exactly. And what she blurted was her real self. She humiliated me for laughs. That's not a slip. That's who she is. Click. Jenna hung up. Thursday morning, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Marissa's dad, Harold. I actually liked him. He's a contractor, hardworking, no nonsense. Son, I'm not calling to defend her. What she said was out of line. But walking away from a 3-year relationship over one comment? That's extreme. With respect, sir, it wasn't one comment. She said, in front of her whole family, she planned to control me and cut my mother off once she got my money. That's not a slip. That's a strategy. He was silent for a long moment, then sighed. I didn't hear that part. I was in the kitchen. Ask your wife. Ask Emily. They all heard it. Another pause. She can't afford that apartment alone. I know. Then she moves home. That's probably best. You're really done? No counseling. I'm done. She didn't insult me once. She revealed herself. Friday, I came home from work and nearly dropped my phone. My mom was standing at the front porch with a stunned look. Marissa had been there. She'd brought her mother and her sister Emily, 3 against 1. Mrs. Carter, we need to talk to Daniel. Mom, sharp as ever, said, he doesn't want to see you. And this is my house. Leave. That's when I stepped out. It's okay, Mom. Let's hear them. Marissa had rehearsed it. She looked me in the eyes and said, I was nervous. Tyler was bragging. I felt insecure. I tried to make a joke, but it came out wrong. I love you. Please don't throw 3 years away over one stupid night. Which part was a joke? Calling me a boy? Saying you'd cut my mom off? Saying you'd control my finances? Which part wasn't real? Emily rolled her eyes. Oh my God, it was just girl talk. Everyone complains about their man. To their whole family? At a formal dinner? I snapped. That's normal to you? Her mom, Patricia, jumped in. Daniel, she loves you. She made a mistake. Forgive her. You'll regret this. I already forgave her, I said. But that doesn't mean I'll marry her. Harold wasn't there, but if he had been, maybe he would have stopped what happened next. Marissa suddenly dropped to her knees on the porch, crying, sobbing, grabbing my leg. Please, don't do this. I'll change. I'll cut everyone else off, not your mom. I swear. Mom lost her patience. Young lady, let go of my son. You had a good man and you mocked him. What kind of wife humiliates her husband for loving his mother? What kind of mother would you have been? Think about that. Marissa's face drained of color. She stood up, shaking, and without another word, stormed off with her family. But the chaos didn't end. Saturday, something new exploded. I got an email from our wedding venue. Subject line, urgent, payment overdue. Turns out, Marissa had called them, insisting the wedding was still on. She told them I'd handle the remaining balance. The deposit had been $8,500. I'd paid $7,000. She'd paid $1,500. The venue wanted the next $5,000. I called them immediately. There is no wedding. Cancel everything. Refund my portion. The manager hesitated. She said you were just upset. That you'd cool off. Sir, do not let her manipulate you. Cancel it. They refunded my portion, minus a cancellation fee. I didn't even care. But here's the kicker. 2 hours later, I got a Venmo request from Jenna, her best friend, for $100. Caption, Marissa's share of the bachelorette weekend. I declined. Added a note, little boys don't have money. Ask her mommy. Petty? Maybe. But I wasn't done. Sunday night, as I was finally starting to breathe again, Marissa launched the wildest stunt yet. A GoFundMe page. Title, Help Me Rebuild After Financial Abuse. She painted herself as a victim, claimed I'd trapped her in dependency, forced her into part-time work, and abandoned her with nothing. Her goal? $10,000. It raised $250, most of it from her mom. I laughed, but then my laughter stopped cold. Because at the bottom of the fundraiser, there was one comment that sent a chill down my spine. Don't worry, Marissa. Some of us know how to handle men like him. He won't get away with this. Anonymous. No name. And for the first time in this whole disaster, I felt something new. Fear. That anonymous comment on Marissa's fundraiser wouldn't leave my head. He won't get away with this. Who wrote it? A friend? Her sister Emily? Some random troll? At first I brushed it off. But then things started happening that made me wonder. Monday morning, I came out to my car, and the rear tire was slashed. Not a slow leak. A clean cut. Knife work. My stomach dropped. Coincidence? Or retaliation? I got it towed, filed a police report. The officer asked if I had enemies. I almost laughed. Just an ex-fiancé with too much free time. He wrote it down, but gave me that look, like he thought I was overreacting. That night, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Mama's boy. Watch yourself. I snapped a screenshot and blocked it. My hands were shaking. Meanwhile, Marissa's victim narrative was gaining traction. Her GoFundMe only made $250, but she spun the story on Instagram. Escaping financial abuse, rebuilding, strong, independent woman. She was posting sad selfies, inspirational quotes, the whole performance. People in her circle started DMing me. How could you abandon her? One even called me a coward hiding behind his mommy's apron. Irony burned in my throat. They didn't see the BMW she drove on my dime. The apartment she lived in, paid by me. The vacations, the dinners, the endless brunches. Did anyone remember who funded that? By Wednesday, Marissa escalated again. She showed up at my workplace for the second time. Only this time, she wasn't alone. She brought Emily. They stood outside the front doors holding signs. I'm not kidding, signs. One read, "Mama's boy equals emotional abuser." The other, "3 years wasted. Shame on you, Daniel." Coworkers watched from the windows like it was free reality TV. My boss pulled me aside. "Daniel, what is this?" I wanted to sink into the floor. "Personal matter. I'll handle it." Security escorted them off the property, but the damage was done. My humiliation had become an office spectacle. That night, I finally cracked and called Harold, her dad. "You need to control your daughters. This is harassment." He sounded tired. "Older. Daniel. I've tried. They don't listen. Patricia fuels it, Emily eggs it on, and Marissa, well, she thrives on chaos. Then you better prepare, because if this doesn't stop, I'm pressing charges." He sighed. "I can't blame you. Honestly, I warned Patricia years ago we were creating a monster. I guess you just saw it too late." Thursday came with a new low. My mom called me at work. Her voice was shaky. "Daniel, she came here." My chest tightened. "What do you mean she?" "Marissa. With her mom. They pounded on the door for 20 minutes, yelling about how I'd poisoned you, how I ruined her chance at happiness. The neighbors came out. I almost called the police. My vision went red. Don't ever open the door to them again. Ever." I drove straight home, ready for war. But when I pulled into Mom's driveway, something froze me in place. A note tucked under the windshield wiper. Same handwriting as the GoFundMe comment. "You can run to Mommy's house, but you can't hide forever." I crushed the paper in my fist. Enough was enough. That evening, I called a lawyer. Not for divorce. Thank God we weren't married, but for harassment and defamation. He listened, then said, "You've got a case. Document everything. Screenshots, texts, notes, photos. The more, the better." So I did. I became a collector of evidence. My phone was stuffed with folders labeled Marissa Drama. Friday was supposed to be calm. Instead, it detonated. At 10 a.m., I got an email from HR. Subject line, "Urgent employee concern." I opened it, and my jaw dropped. Someone had sent an anonymous complaint to my company accusing me of creating a hostile environment, belittling women, and abusing power. I read it twice, then 3 times. It was filled with lies. Said I mocked female colleagues, used company funds for personal use, and, get this, boasted about keeping women financially dependent. It was Marissa's voice, written down. I could hear her in every line. I stormed into HR. "This is retaliation from my ex." None of it's true. They looked cautious but said, "We have to investigate. Company policy." I walked out shaking with rage. Not only was she trying to destroy me socially, she was aiming at my livelihood. By Friday night, I hit a breaking point. I sat across from my mom at the kitchen table. She poured me tea. I slammed the threatening note down. "Mom, she won't stop. She's trying to ruin everything. My job, my name, even you." Mom looked at me steadily. "Then you fight back. Not with anger. With proof. With strategy. She thinks you're weak because you love me. Show her that's your strength." I nodded slowly. For the first time all week, I felt clarity. If Marissa wanted war, I'd give her one. But on my terms. And she had no idea what was coming next. I thought I'd seen the worst of Marissa's chaos. The fundraiser, the protests at my job, the threats. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for what she pulled next. It started on Saturday morning. I was at my mom's house, fixing the back fence, when a black SUV pulled into the driveway. A man stepped out, mid-40s, sharp suit, expensive haircut. He introduced himself as Ethan Clark, a private investigator. "I was hired by Marissa Morrison," he said calmly, flipping open a notebook. "She asked me to look into allegations of financial misconduct. Says you've been funneling money through your mother to avoid taxes. Care to comment?" I almost dropped the hammer in my hand. "Are you kidding me? She actually hired a PI to investigate me?" He nodded, unfazed. "She also claims you threatened her physically after the breakup. Is that true?" I laughed so hard I almost doubled over. "Threatened her? She showed up at my mom's house with a mob. She's the one leaving threats on my car." Ethan didn't flinch. He scribbled notes. "Look, Mr. Carter, I don't pick sides. I just report. But between you and me, I've seen this before. X is going nuclear. You might want to lawyer up. And with that, he left. I stood there stunned. My mom came out onto the porch. Who was that? Apparently, Marissa's private detective. Mom raised her eyebrows. She's lost her mind. But the real insanity came that evening. I was scrolling through my phone when a notification popped up. Marissa had gone live on Instagram. Against my better judgment, I clicked. And my jaw hit the floor. She was sitting in a decorated hall. Balloons, banners, flowers. Behind her, a giant sign, celebrating our engagement. Yes, she was throwing a fake engagement party. For us. Except I wasn't there. Dozens of people filled the room. Her friends, extended family, even some co-workers. She was on stage, smiling through crocodile tears. Daniel couldn't make it tonight because he's struggling. But we're still committed. We're working through challenges. Love conquers all, right? The crowd cheered. Cameras flashed. I couldn't believe it. She was rewriting reality in real time. Pretending we were still engaged. Pretending I was just working through issues. The comments on the live stream made my blood boil. Stay strong, girl. He'll come around. You two are meant to be. And then, icing on the insanity cake, her sister Emily took the mic. Daniel is a good man. He's just controlled by his overbearing mother. Once he learns to stand on his own, he'll do right by Marissa. The hall erupted in applause. I felt like I was watching a parallel universe. Within minutes, my phone exploded with texts. Friends, co-workers, even my boss. Dude, are you engaged or not? My lawyer called too. Daniel, are you aware Marissa is publicly claiming the engagement is still on? Because that complicates things legally. I paced my mom's living room, shaking with rage. This woman is insane. She's hosting parties with my name attached. How is that even legal? Then came the knockout punch. Ethan, the private investigator, texted me. Yes, the guy she'd hired. Just saw the live stream. She didn't tell me about this. Off the record, you might want to hit back publicly. She's trying to build a narrative, and if you don't counter it, people will believe her. For the first time, I realized Ethan wasn't just some neutral PI. He'd seen enough to know Marissa was spiraling. But how to respond? Quietly collecting evidence was one thing. Watching her host a fake engagement party in my name was another. I had two choices. Ignore it, let her burn herself out, or expose her. And I'll be honest, every bone in my body wanted revenge. So Sunday morning, I did something bold. I posted my own video. Plain background, calm voice, but my words cut sharp. Hi. Some of you may have seen a live stream last night claiming Marissa and I are still engaged. That's false. I ended the relationship 2 weeks ago after being publicly humiliated in front of her entire family. Since then, I've been stalked, harassed, and smeared. I don't usually post personal stuff, but enough is enough. This is harassment. And it stops now. I hit upload. Within an hour, it had 30,000 views. By evening, over 100,000. Screenshots of Marissa's fake party were circulating everywhere. People weren't cheering for her anymore. They were laughing, mocking, calling it delusional. Marissa's perfect narrative collapsed overnight. But here's the thing. When people like her lose control, they don't just stop. They escalate. And I had no idea how far she was about to go. I thought Marissa's fake engagement party was rock bottom. But the truth? That was just her opening act. The real bomb was still ticking. It dropped on Monday morning. I was sipping coffee at my desk when Ethan, the private investigator, called. His voice was unusually tense. Daniel, I need to tell you something. And you're not going to like it. My stomach nodded. What is it? He hesitated. While digging through Marissa's finances, I found something odd. Large transfers. Regular payments. Not from you. From someone else. And not recent. This has been going on for over a year. What are you saying? I'm saying she wasn't just living off your money. Ethan exhaled hard. She's been seeing someone else. A man named Victor Jameson. Older. Married. Wealthy. The coffee nearly slipped from my hands. My heart pounded. You're telling me she had a sugar daddy this whole time? While I was paying her rent. Not just a sugar daddy, Ethan continued. I think it's more complicated. Victor isn't just some random guy. He's a partner at the firm your company contracts with. Technically, he's connected to your job. I went cold. Everything started clicking. The confidence. The entitlement. The way she acted like she'd always have a safety net. Marissa wasn't just relying on me. She had a secret backup sponsor. And she'd kept it hidden, until now. That evening, I confronted her by text. I shouldn't have, but anger took over. Who's Victor, Marissa? She didn't reply for hours. Then finally, don't you dare bring him into this. He has nothing to do with us. That was all the confirmation I needed. Tuesday morning, the story broke wide open. Screenshots of my video had spread across Reddit. Someone anonymous posted receipts, bank statements, transfers, messages between Marissa and Victor. They painted a disgusting picture, her bragging about having Daniel for stability and Victor for luxury. One line burned into my brain. Daniel's so predictable. Pays the bills, worships his mommy, thinks I love him. Victor gives me the real life I deserve. The internet erupted. Her GoFundMe page? Bombarded with comments. Did Victor stop paying? Financial abuse. More like financial double-dipping. She shut it down within hours. Her Instagram? Flooded with people calling her a scammer. Screenshots everywhere. She went from poor victim to viral villain overnight. And then came the craziest part. Victor's wife found out. She sent me an email. A long one. She thanked me. Yes, thanked me. Because by publicly exposing Marissa's lies, I'd accidentally given her the evidence she needed to confront her cheating husband. She told me she'd filed for divorce. She was going after Victor's money, his reputation, and yes, his relationship with Marissa. Consider it poetic justice, she wrote. She thought she was playing two men. Now she's lost both. I stared at the email in disbelief. Marissa's entire empire, funded by me and Victor, was collapsing at light speed. But of course, she didn't go down quietly. By Wednesday, she was outside my mom's house again. This time alone, mascara streaked, hair a mess, screaming at the top of her lungs. You ruined my life, Daniel. You did this to me. I opened the door. For once, I didn't feel fear. Just cold clarity. No, Marissa. You ruined your own life. You mocked me. You lied. You cheated. You played two men like ATMs and thought you'd never get caught. Her voice cracked. You don't understand. Victor promised me everything. A house. Security. He said I was his future. Then why is his wife divorcing him and cutting you off? Why is your name trending on Twitter with the words scammer and liar? She froze. For once, no comeback. Mom came to the door beside me. Her voice was sharp. Get off my property. And don't come back. Marissa stumbled backward, shaking her head, muttering, This isn't fair, until she finally staggered down the street. But here's the thing. Even after everything, losing me, losing Victor, losing her reputation, I knew Marissa wasn't finished. Because when people like her get cornered, they don't stop. They lash out. Harder. Desperate. Unpredictable. And sure enough, that night, my boss called me. His voice was clipped, urgent. Daniel, I just got off a call with Victor Jameson. He's furious. He says you're behind some kind of smear campaign. He wants you off the project. Effective immediately. My heart stopped. Victor wasn't just Marissa's secret sugar daddy. He was now my direct enemy. And he had power. When my boss told me Victor wanted me off the project, I felt the ground tilt beneath me. This wasn't just personal anymore. This was my career. I didn't sleep that night. I stared at the ceiling, fury burning in my chest. Marissa had mocked me, drained me, cheated on me. And now, through Victor, she was trying to crush my livelihood. But she'd underestimated something. I wasn't just some little boy who needed his mommy. I was a software engineer with receipts. Literally. For weeks I'd been documenting everything. Screenshots, bank transfers, texts, voice messages. Ethan, the PI, had sent me a packet of Victor's transactions. And Victor? He'd been sloppy. Really sloppy. Money routed through shell accounts. Transfers labeled as consulting fees that clearly weren't. And worse, emails between him and Marissa, full of arrogance. So I made a choice. Not to play defense. To go nuclear. The next morning, I called my lawyer. We compiled everything into a neat, devastating file. By noon, it was on its way to Victor's law firm, his wife's divorce attorney, and, because poetic justice sometimes needs an audience, the IRS. By Friday, the detonation began. Victor's wife filed for divorce citing adultery and financial misconduct. His firm suspended him pending investigation. The project he'd tried to boot me from? Frozen. My boss pulled me aside. Daniel, whatever's happening, stay out of the office for now. HR's drowning in calls. But I wasn't hiding. Because the Real explosion came that evening. A whistleblower subreddit picked up the documents. Screenshots. Bank trails. The whole sordid mess. Within hours, it was viral. Wealthy attorney exposed for affair with yoga instructor. Sugar daddy funds lifestyle while wife builds empire. Comment sections lit up with rage and mockery. And the name Marissa Morrison? Trending again. Not as a victim. As a punchline. She called me that night. Sobbing. Screaming. Her voice cracked with desperation. You ruined me. You destroyed Victor. You don't understand what you've done. I kept my voice calm. Cold. No, Marissa. You ruined yourself. I just turned the lights on so everyone else could see it. She begged. Please, Daniel. I have nothing. No job, no apartment, no money. Everyone hates me. I need you. And that was the moment. The irony of it all. The girl who mocked me for loving my mom, who sneered that she'd cut me off, was now begging for the very thing she'd once laughed at. Support. Mercy. Family. I said 6 words. Quiet. Final. Little boys don't rescue liars. And I hung up. But the story didn't end there. 2 weeks later, I was sitting across from my mom at Sunday lunch. Peaceful. Calm. Like the storm had finally passed. She looked at me and said softly, "I'm proud of you, Daniel. You fought back. But don't let their poison live in you. Leave it behind." I nodded. For the first time in months, I felt free. Marissa faded into online infamy. Victor's divorce drained him. His career was wrecked. They turned on each other, each blaming the other for the downfall. They got exactly what they deserved. And me? I rebuilt. I found a new apartment, new peace, and eventually, someone new. A woman who didn't see my love for my mom as weakness, but strength. Looking back, that night at the anniversary dinner wasn't humiliation. It was liberation. The best thing that could have happened. But sometimes, late at night, I still think about that fundraiser comment. The one that started it all. He won't get away with this. Because even though I won, even though Marissa's empire burned down, there's a part of me that wonders, what if she's not done? That's the end of today's story. Did things turn out the way you thought, or were there some surprises along the way? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, now's the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch new stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.